some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, doo-dah, day.
Hi there. You're looking at a very tired and frustrated Mr. Hollifield. And as always, welcome to a very early Last Man Standing because Joe Dog is doing Hallowcon promotions at another convention. So I have just spent a very frustrating 3.5 hours trying to get the contents of my old phone copied into my new phone. I cannot figure out how to get the new phone to let me log into the App Store and download the necessary app to do it wirelessly. So tomorrow, I'm going to have to go out and buy a micro USB to USB-C cable or something with the proper adapters. My wife was able to do this flawlessly on her first attempt. Right now, the new phone is taking calls and taking texts with the same number as the old phone, but I can't find out how to. I can input my password into Google or any other app, but I can't find the send button to make it actually do anything. Like, let me get to the App Store and download something. I can type in my password. I can type in my username, and it just won't do anything. But hopefully after I've had several drinks and slept all night, I will be able to get this. Yeah, my Carl, yeah, my Gmail password. Um, it'll let me type it in, but there's no send button, or at least not an obvious one. So I don't really understand. And Lindsay was able to do all this herself without a cable and without downloading different apps to whatever. And and now the old phone no longer has anything but Wi-Fi. Inside the house, it'll work fine. I could take photographs with it, but oh no, no. I just looked at the private chat. Um, I'm not waiting on anything to be mailed. I'm going to go to the store tomorrow and get exactly what I need. And that last comment was from Mr. Bachman, who is uh, highly respected in my neck of the woods, or at least in my heart. And nah, mail order is too slow. I need this done now. So
So
tomorrow morning,
what stores do you have nearby you?
um, well, I have a Kroger, which has lots and lots of cables. Um, I have several dedicated computer shops, which would. Oh, hi, Daniel.
Hey,
Um,
Daniel.
Daniel Berry Sports Highlights just logged in, and I have all kinds of stuff. So there's all kinds of computer stores nearby. Um, don't really
Yeah,
need them.
I would go to one of the computer type stores.
Yeah.
Um, because if you go to either one. If you go to a computer store or even Kroger, the cable that you buy, you want to make sure it's not just for charging.
Well, if I get one that's micro USB on one end and USB C on the other end, it's gonna be pretty obvious I'm not charging anything.
It should be data sync, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but you'd be surprised, especially with the if it's a really cheap cable. Sometimes those are just strictly charging.
Kroger does not have really cheap cables. They've got I don't remember what brand it is, but it's a very good brand. Um, and so far, they have not let me down on anything. Lindsay can't find whatever sync cable she used,
hmm
um, mostly because the house is in an uproar because we're trying to have the floor redone and we're waiting on the the termite eradicator company to come out because contractors we hired aren't going to do anything until termites have been poisoned, and then they're going to put new lumber down. Um, but that's neither here nor there. Um, oh yeah, thesis, no problem. Take all the time you need. I mean, there's no end time to this show. It's just whenever anybody that's on here leaves me alone, I'll, I'll go ahead and monologue for a few minutes and then shut the stream off. Um, there we
Hey, Donna.
go. Yeah, Donna decided to not succumb to tiredness. Like Carl's here too. Um,
Yeah, they did a lot of walking around our park today.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I did
They
a
came
lot
up
of
to
walking around in the yard today.
visit, and Dawn was up here too. Donna did get her beret.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Hiya,
Willie.
Willie. Uh,
We wore ourselves out, but one of us got to sleep on the way back. Well, you were in the driver's seat when we all left, so hopefully that wasn't you, Carl.
hey, the car knows its way home.
That's what GPS is for, right? That's just autopilot.
I wish. Um,
But oh yes, and she did get her candle also. I gave her the mint candle.
hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah. Carl managed to stay awake. An admirable feat. Um, oh,
yeah,
and
they.
only slept for about half an hour. That's not enough, dear. Believe
I'll
me,
tell
I
you.
know.
I'll tell you what. The nap monsters got me when we got home. I kicked back in the recliner. I had eaten my leftover onion rings. Kicked back, and I was out for about damn near 3 hours. I woke up about half hour before Thesis's show, and that's only because the wife was up and moving around to go and get ready for it. But
Well,
I had to have been snoring loud because God, it felt like somebody just ran sandpaper up and down my throat. That sounded a little wrong, but anyway.
yeah, really. I didn't think they made the sandpaper condoms anymore. I thought Paul Bunyan got the last of those, and it was about the size of a one of those redwoods out in California. Oh no, pause to collect my thoughts. Not
Yeah,
not the thing that keeps me from finding the words that I want to say, but it's not aphasia. It's just uh. I toted some heavy stuff to the barn today, and I'm worn out. Um, got 4 sets of 4-tier shelves put together and ready to put household stuff on. Made sure there was room for furniture to go in when we've got to completely clear out the living room. Um, and it'll be first week of June before the um, pest control terminator shows up.
well,
I'm trying
yeah,
to relax. I am really trying to relax right now, but I'm so stress has really gotten to me today. Um, Everything I did worked uh, until I started trying to move the contents of the old phone to to the new phone. What you got there? Looks like a map or some kind.
yep.
There you go.
So Carl and Donna were up here today, and Carl and Trey walked the fence line of the park along here and put up all new munsies. There's only about 5 munsies, maybe 4 maybe, before they got here today. But we walked all through the park, and
That does
Carl and
not look
Frey and
like a
Mom.
short walk.
This section of fence here is probably about 800 feet, roughly.
Oh, well, that's
The
not too
corner.
bad.
Yeah, it's still a fairly decent sized park. I mean,
Yeah, Mom's driveway is about quarter mile from the house to the mailbox. And I'm glad she actually stopped walking it because
mhm.
she's damn near 90. Um, no, she'll drive her whichever car she feels like using today up to the end of the driveway and turn around in the field and then walk across the paved road and get her mail and then walk back across the paved road. Um, she does get her steps in, but she's she's getting a little bit frail now, and I'm very very worried. Um, already lost dad. I'm gonna dread the day I lose mom, and there's a lot of people in the audience and who will view this later that will understand exactly that abject terror that I am feeling. Yeah, my brother and sister and I used to have to walk all the way up the driveway and wait on the school bus every damn weekday. Um, of course, it was kind of neat when we were growing soybeans or corn or whatever in between the house and the road in that
Mhm.
particular field, because the angle of the sun rising in the east would cast our shadows out into the field, and each of us would see the halo around our shadows. Everybody would see the halo around their own shadow, but nobody else's. That was kind of cool. Um, I don't even know if a camera can capture that, but it would be neat if it did. But nobody had cell phones back then because cell phones would not be invented for another 20 years. Uh, oh, let me do this because I can't stand this. There we go. Uh, oh, I'm sorry if that whistle was a little bit loud. Um,
Oh, you're good.
um, went to the hardware store yesterday and got some hinged hooks, basically just uh, a latch with an eye hook to go with it, and put them to open the or keep the doors of the barn from swinging shut. Um, each hook was about 8 inches long, so had to pick and choose my spaces carefully. Um, I'm thinking strongly about putting in another hook to hang the weather radio on, which has a solar cell on top of it to recharge it, so that I've got music to listen to when I'm out there messing around. Um, ordered some more blinds for the front porch. They're rattan and they just kind of roll up, and then you
Mhm.
put some Velcro through them, and they stay whatever height you want them. But right now, because the refrigerator's on the front porch, we want to block up as much sunlight as possible to keep the refrigerator from doing Too much work trying to stay cool. Lindsay says, I've never heard it make that loud noise before. And I'm going, honey, it's the same volume as the noise it makes in the kitchen. But why make the refrigerator work harder when the morning sunlight hits it? Hung the blinds back up, got it immensely cooler on the porch. Mm. That's doing some good right there. The rum is helping me cope with the tension of my neck being all knotted up from being so frustrated over the phone today.
Understandable.
We'll get it eventually. I have confidence. It probably would have worked better if the new phone hadn't been so weird. Lindsay doesn't have any problem with it. It did everything she wanted it to do. I can't figure out how to get it to do anything I want it to do. I mean, I don't want a thumbprint reader on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a 4-digit passcode or whatever. I don't need that. There's no credit card information that's ever on the phone. So why bother? There's no bank account information that will be on the phone. So why bother? I'm retired, so I'm not going to leave it laying on a bench in the locker room anymore. Oh, yeah, Carl. Believe me, I've tried. I can get to the Play Store. It keeps asking for a password, and then it doesn't have a send button. There's no way to tell it this is the password. Go. Yeah. I get stalled out at the screen where it says, we need your email, which the only Play Store I've been able to find is Google on it. Not the Android Play Store, but Google. Have to get rid of the on-screen keyboard. Oh.
There should be a little button that'll send the keyboard down.
Should be. I'll find it eventually. I did not know that. Yeah, it's covering up the sign-in button. Okay, that makes sense now. Just swipe down on the keyboard itself. I don't know. I really think so. Good enough. Good enough. I'll try that. Lindsay's gotten real good with hers, and it's the same model she's got, but she can't remember what she did to get everything to sync up and get all of her contact list and passwords and text messages and photographs and whatever. And I just got so frustrated. I decided tomorrow morning, soon as I get up, I'm headed to the store. I don't know which store, but I'm headed there. Doesn't matter. If it's not having a torrential rain, well, I got new windshield wipers on the truck, so even then, I should be able to handle it. Made so many trips to the other side of the next county that uh, a week, no, 2 weeks after I filled up the gas tank on the truck, I've only got half a tank left. Oh, I did order an EcoFlow um, power bank, and it comes with a set of solar panels. And um I'm going to see how that works, as well as toward uh, having a light in the barn when I need it. And the back button. Okay, that's a okay. Let me highlight that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you. I I'm willing to learn any tips and tricks, because my other phone is the old phone is over 7 years old, and I took so long trying to figure out the new phone that the tech support on TrackPhone said, "Well, you haven't said anything in a while, so I'm going to log off." Yeah, I'm going. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Let's try this. Let's try that. It's a new phone. Once you figure out how to use it, you'll be able to do anything. But I'm so used to the old phone, so we'll see. Um, mm, yeah, I'll have to remember that, Carl. And believe me, it won't disappear just because I've had a few drinks and slipped since you said that. So, but I'm tired of trying to do it um, wirelessly, when the easy way is just to go and buy a cable and connect the two. The
Yeah.
old phone has the micro USB. The new phone has the USB C. And I looked around, and I don't have that option in my cable box. I've got
I
more
don't even think
phone.
I have that option in all the cables I have.
Well, I mean, I'm beginning to have more cables for the phones than I ever did for the garage band, which is kind of saying something right there. Hmm. Well, that'll dry. Yes, I'm dribbling, and there aren't even any women present. Uh, Lindsay's on the other end of the house, but she doesn't like it when I dribble.
So I'm scrolling through Facebook,
Mm,
and apparently a county sheriff's dog,
yeah,
which I pulled up the screen share there. So Canine Blesk was in the zone during a detection scenario when he caught the scent of dope. But there is one problem: a paint can in his way. Naturally, he did what any determined detection dog would do. He bit it, launched it, and alerted like a pro. Now he's sporting his new high visibility tactical face paint.
It was hidden behind the paint can or in the paint can?
I'm not entirely sure which, but either way, he got it.
Well, I mean, that's what they're trained for. Uh, oh. I'm hoping tomorrow is running much smoother than today. Um, yeah, Carl, poor doggo. You're absolutely right. And unfortunately, with paint, it's going to take a while for that to either be brushed away or
Mm-hmm.
wear enough to where you can't see it anymore. I'm kind of hoping the new cable is at the Kroger over in the next county because that way I can go to the carport store across the road
Mm-hmm.
and try and hunt up the cigarette lighter outlet splitter that I need. Because right now I've got the new CB radio installed in the truck, but I didn't bother to wire it directly to the battery. I just plugged it into an existing um, 12 volt cigarette lighter thing, but I need I need one for that. I need one for um, the camera that has to go on the front bumper so I can see the lines in parking spaces and not have to try 14 times to back up and pull in and back up and pull in to be between the lines.
I
And
have the same issue with my RAM.
well, it's too damn tall. I didn't know it was that high off the ground when I bought it.
Well, and it's not just that the way that hood slopes throws off your depth perception too.
Hmm. And I also need the third spare outlet for my GPS to plug into. Although possibly I could plug that in from micro USB to whichever port it is. It's got um, ports for all kinds of things, but I don't want to risk it. Um and I like the fact that the cigarette lighter shuts off when you turn the key off. Whoa, Nelly!
Low thunder?
One thunder. Sounds like a 12 gauge.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I live out in the middle of nowhere. Um, and even if it were deer season, it's way past the time it's legal to actually hunt one.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's out there target shooting in the middle of the night. Mm, that's good information, Carl. Both statements. Phone came with a dongle that plugs into Type C, then it has a regular USB on the other end. Um, I've got plenty of cables that are um, the normal USB, the wide plug to USB-C or micro USB, and I've got nothing to make them match up. So it doesn't matter, but doing it through the Play Store is much easier. Not in my experience tonight, Carl. Witness my rum intake at the moment, and Thesis is home. Dongle, yeah. Uh, uh, Good thing Dawn's not here. She wouldn't get embarrassed. Um, or she would be if she was here. Uh, oh, I promise you, folks, it's not the rum, it's the frustration. My speech pattern is being interrupted by my brain trying to cope with being extremely aggravated.
Trey's seen me like that after coding.
Yeah. This is what? She said she was in Lowell, Indiana. I'm not sure why she's going through there. Doesn't seem to be on the way back from Fowler.
That's
Taking the scenic.
backtracking.
Yeah, well,
That's
um,
backtracking a lot.
I will not commit the cardinal sin of saying that Dawn is wrong, but maybe she's been misled by an electronic device.
See, now I'm interested as to where Peoria is in comparison to. Do it the easy way, Joe. Type it into the search bar and then it'll take you right to it. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe that's not backtracking so much.
Okay. Well, I mean, she's trying to avoid lots and lots and lots of traffic, so I can
Yeah.
understand that. Ah, just
Well,
for
no,
Carl, Noor moment.
that is backtracking quite a bit because she could actually, from where Nick and Amanda are at, she could have just went back north a little bit to Kentland and took Highway 24 straight back across.
Well, either that didn't occur to her or she is trusting a GPS or equivalent device.
Yeah, because Lowell brings her literally about halfway back to us.
Will, listen for a knock on your door.
Right?
Come on in. Don't let the cats out. They were hard enough to catch first time.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't realize Peoria was that straight of a shot from Nick's, to be honest.
Y'all know the local geography a whole lot better than I do, so. Oh,
Although
and I
I
do
imagine
want.
taking 24, you go through every little podunk town also.
Oh, yeah, that's a possibility too, Carl. Maybe
Yeah.
she meant some other city and autocorrect to the left. Yeah, that's. I do want to take a moment and thank Josh for the weather reports that he highlighted us into on Facebook today. Um, Looks like Sunday I'm in for some nasty weather. I wish I hadn't spent so much time toting stuff to the barn and actually gotten around to mowing some of the yard. Um, I still need to go to the hardware store and buy some treated lumber to make a ramp to go into the barn. That way I can get the lawnmowers out of the way once we've got the kitchen and living room floors done and don't have to use the barn to store furniture. La Hogue?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've never run into that name before. I mean, Hogue, yeah, but La Hogue,
Yeah. La Hogue
that's
and LOL, if you're doing voice to text, it could easily.
really,
Mm-hmm.
yep, that's realistic. So yeah, La Hogue is a wide spot in the road. 2 churches, 4 houses, no bars. Well, who the hell would want to live there then?
Yeah, but he also, didn't mention the 3 cows and 10 stray cats.
That's because the one of the cats is the mayor, and the rest of them are the city council. So, oh, mm,
Yeah, I need to see what the weather's going to be like tomorrow here, because tomorrow or Monday, because I want to do some grilling this weekend.
um, had a client in La Hogue once that's way up there. Well, if there ain't much traffic, she's not going to see too many headlights in her eyes. So there is that.
I might cook out on Memorial Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day for us is going to be a deluge. It's going to rain like crazy. Um, at the moment, I'm trying to find a someplace with the chain link fence that everything is anchored in with a metal fence post and not off of vertical. The two are not entirely easily compatible.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Joe Dog, cohort or co-host. Yeah, Joe Dog. Um,
Cohort. That, yeah.
hey, grab your sword, fellow Vikings. Let's just do this shit. Remember to get it in the right order this time. Burn, then pillage is the wrong way to go about it. Pillage and then burn. It'll be all right. We can cope with that, but we won't be able to visit again. Uh, oh, this should be dry. If not, I'll get brown fingertips. the
Ooh,
piece that I was cutting last night. Now
that turned out nice.
this is before I actually rivet anything, and the side you're seeing now is the supposed to be the inside. I might have to restain that. Oh well, depends on what the silicone does to it. Yeah, it's dry. Um, I thought about going ahead and putting the rivets in on the one end and then making sure everything looks right as far as the color is concerned. Um, and then maybe going ahead and putting the snaps in the tongue part there above my finger. One of those is kind of clogged up. It's got 3 holes punched into it. Excuse me. Yeah. Now I do have a couple of options. I thought about getting a chamois cloth. I mean, not cloth, but real leather, and going ahead and making a little roll up thing that would have pouches to put the eating utensils in. I'm still trying to um, decide whether or not I want a fixed back or if I want to just make it so that everything gets covered and it can roll up, take up less room in the sporan or um, the other bags to hang off the belt.
See you, Joe Dog.
Uh, yeah, you're absolutely right. The more U.S. highways you end up on, the more a little bitty 25 to 35 mile an hour towns you have to go through. Um, I'm sorry, Joe Dog. Gibberish is not one of my languages. Um, I speak English, bad English, British English, and enough Spanish to order a burrito. Um, Good night. Sound like he's been hitting the moonshine. I thought he wasn't ever supposed to drink anything again or else he'll die. Although gabapino might be one of those drugs that has worse side effects than the disease you're trying to treat. I don't know. Sometimes I worry about that poor boy. Then again, sometimes I worry about a lot of people that don't really need me to worry because they're perfectly fine without me worrying. But I care, so I worry. Been a grandfather too long. Remind me, one of these days I'm going to have to adopt Thesis as one of my honorary grandchildren. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Um, then again, it might be a new item at Taco Bell, knowing Joe Dog.
You quiero un burrito, por favor.
Yep. With me, I just walk up to the taco stand and go, burrito deluxe combo, extra onions and mild sauce, um, jumbo taco, extra onions and mild sauce, jumbo spinach quesadilla with extra onions, black peppers, and jalapenos. Black peppers, black olives, I meant to say. Um, and go, here, take my money. Um,
I go to a little taco stand down the road from where we ate lunch at today, and it's just, 2 chicken quesadillas, cilantro and onion. Give me the hot sauce on the side.
excuse me.
Bless you.
Evidently, there's one in the. It's basically a taco shack,
Mm.
but it's right. Good grief!
Bless you.
The
One more, and I'm calling an exorcist.
the pollen is supposed to be really bad today, and I was out there all day walking across the grass back and forth and back and forth. So I probably breathed a whole lot more than I needed to. But the Taco Shack, I can't remember the name of it, is in the same, it shares a parking lot with the local liquor store. So I've got two reasons to go to town now.
I'll
I
see
need
this.
I need to try them and see whether or not they're any good.
This right here is why I like going down to this little taco stand, not too far from us, especially sitting down inside and eating.
Yeah.
If you pull up that picture real quick.
Carl. Order a burrito loco at our usual Mexican restaurant. The guy has steak, or the gal has steak or chicken. But the same time I said polo, and she said, and then he said polo again. She has steak or chicken. So evidently she doesn't speak Spanish.
So I got a story for that in a second.
I'll go right ahead.
But if you pull up this picture real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even notice that it popped up.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I like going in there and sitting down and eating. Because as soon as you walk in, you just get hit with the smell of them grilling the chicken.
Oh, yeah.
And they do it smart, too. They got the big fan right here to blow some of the hot air out. So it's taking that scent and just kind of wafting it out into that. They're right at an intersection.
That is good business practice right there.
Yep. Marketing is everything, folks.
Hey, our local Kroger has a basically it's a sandwich shop, and they actually grill their own chicken there in the shop. It's got a fan that blows right over the parking lot, and you park in that side of the parking lot, and you get to smell um, French fries and chicken and roast beef, and I gotta have a handkerchief by the time I walk around the corner and get to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Just mouth-watering smells.
So the story I had to go along with Carl's. When my mom was in high school, she had taken Spanish classes, and I think it was her junior or senior year. They went down. They actually took a field trip down to Mexico, and they were staying at this hotel, and she was sitting at the table with the teacher, and she thought she'd, uh, try to impress the teacher and ordered her breakfast in Spanish. And it was, I don't remember the exact Spanish words, but it basically translated to, I want a short stack of pancakes. And so, she says that to the waitress, and waitress is just kind of staring at her. So she says it again. Waitress kind of staring at her, and she looks at her teacher. I'm saying this correct, aren't I? And teacher goes, yeah, you're saying it perfectly. So my mom says it again. She points at the menu, and the lady goes, oh, you want the short stack? Okay.
In Mexico, yeah. Okay. Glitch in the matrix there somewhere, I do believe.
Well, they're staying at a resort, so
Yeah.
it's more English speaking in there than Mexican speaking in some of them.
We went into one place where the entire staff, English was their second language, and they were talking behind the counter and at the stoves and whatnot. And Lindsay was translating for me. And first time we went there, the food was great. The second time we went there, somebody was entirely too fond of salt. And the food was okay, but you couldn't really taste anything but the salt.
Mm.
That's not what I like. Thesis says, imagine being a fast food place in Mexico and hearing a white guy bitching about the price of being in pesos. You nowadays you got a cell phone. You can download the conversion app. Um, oh, yeah, my grandmother, my dad's mother, had a 500 peso coin, which probably translates to about $6.
I need to ask Trey if she ever. I don't think she ever took the money that she got from our old neighbor over to the bank.
I've got a bunch of British money that most of it's many Americans are just so provincial. How much is that in real money? Yeah. Not a fucking lot.
No, so my old neighbor, his wife came over from Thailand. She's moved over here to the States now, and they forgot when he picked her up from the airport because it was fairly late at night, and she just got done with a 13-hour plus set of flights. They forgot to exchange her currency, which worked out to be about almost $700 US.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife just PayPal'd him the money, and he gave her the whatever denomination is for Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
and she's got to take it over to her bank because her bank does do currency exchange.
Yeah.
But I think it's like a $25 processing fee, and it takes like 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks to actually get the money back to your account. Yeah.
Yep.
And but they actually send it off, verify that it's real and not, fake and everything else. So it's understandable.
Lindsay gave me a very valuable clue the first time we went to England. She goes, don't get money converted from US dollars to pounds at the airport. The exchange rate they give you really is not to your advantage because they rake in a heavy fee for that.
Mm.
Now, if you don't get it converted over here and take the British currency with you on the flight, the best thing to do is go to the British post office in that town and go, here, I brought this American money. Give me what that's worth in pounds. And they give you a much better exchange rate, and they don't take very much in fees at all. The post office is one of those places where they British post office is very honest.
Hmm.
Um, oh,
Yes, Blade, it is the bot. Now that I see it, that is it.
bought and sold. Yeah. Sorry, very weak joke. Um, probably loses a lot in translation. Um,
Good night, Carl.
oh, good night, Carl. Well, glad you were here for this long. I mean, it's been an hour.
Hmm.
You'll catch up tomorrow on the replay, I'm sure. I mean, just go to a minute 3 in the timestamps, and you'll catch the rest of whatever insanity we do. Let's see. 11:03. What time is it in Mike Jimmy's corner of the world? Oh, I'm sorry we put you to sleep, Aunt Donna. Uh, you go right
Good
ahead and
night,
go to
Donna.
bed. That's perfectly all right. I was hoping that I scheduled this early enough in the evening so that um, you and Carl might join us on camera, but you
Well,
know,
they had a long day outside too, so
yeah, yep, I understand. That's just about right. Um, well, I had a long day outside, walking back and forth from the barn to the door of the house and hauling basically heavy stuff. Um, Oh, here's an alert. There are bits and pieces of our muscadine vine that have survived the chainsaw that cut through the base of the muscadine root to get to the pine tree it was wrapped around, because that was one of those widowmaker pine trees we were worried was either going to fall on our peach tree or fall in the neighbor's yard or fall on the house. None of those three options were appealing. But we went out there today and there's kudzu I'm going to have to use clippers on. I can't use the weed eater because that'll get the muscadine vine. We're going to put up a series of well, I want to call them arbor trellises, but they're more the fan-shaped trellis, like a leaf rake or something like that, and try and get those encouraged to come back. There's a lot of it, and some of it, I'm afraid, is from so far away. I'm just going to have to cut it so I can get around some of the trees with the lawnmower. And I hate that, but there's a whole lot more right up next to the original pine tree stump. So there's enough vines to where we can um, put it on a trellis, put it on an arbor later, and hopefully we'll have wild muscadimes again, or for those that don't live in the South, wild grapes, which will please the deer to no end because they wait till they're fermented and then they start eating them and then they stagger off into the woods. You ever seen a deer that would get really drunk off fermented fruit on the vine?
I have not, but I've heard of it with apples.
Well, they will eat the peaches off the ground underneath the peach tree, stuff that has fallen, and the wasps and yellow jackets have got into. So we don't want to eat them. We want to pick them before that. And then the muscadimes. I mean, this was like a 200, 300-year-old muscadine vine. The root is about 7, maybe 8 inches in diameter where it's been cut. So that thing is, I'd have to go out there with a magnifying glass just to try and count the rings. But I'm pretty sure that muscadine vine predated the United States as a nation. Where I live was pretty close to the southern tip of one of the larger versions of Cherokee Nation. And if I walk out my back door and walk into the woods, there's a fair chance I'm the first European American that's ever walked through those woods. And yes, I said European American rather than any of the other terms that sound a little bit more racist nowadays.
Oh, ooh, that felt good.
Hmm. I've had several of those today. I hope. Oh, ooh! There was 3 vertebrae that just got realigned right there. Now Dawn's going to be jealous. Um, I haven't had anything welded together yet, but I'm thinking that one of these days it's going to happen. Oh dear, there was something about my truck. Oh! I need a lumbar pillow for behind my back in my truck seat. Because I've noticed that the older I get in any vehicle I drive, I'm just kind of slumped over and looking up. That's not good. It's not comfortable and it's not good. So I need to be able to slouch in the seat of the car or the truck and just kind of go, oh, that's right. Yeah, now my shoulders actually touch the back of the seat. And my neck is not going forward like a turtle. Whenever I find those, I will get them. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter what, as long as it's not got some cutesy saying on it.
Mm-hmm.
I just need a pillow. I don't need a advertisement for how white I am.
I didn't realize I had that installed already.
I got to figure out where I need to put all the spare parts from the CB installation so that if I ever want to change it to hardwired rather than plug it in the um, cigarette lighter outlet, I can do so.
Yeah, I'm waiting to get my my work truck back currently. It's in the shop for the horn not working, which I didn't find out until I got all the way back north with it after I'd gone down to pick it up. Made it all the way from Indy back up north without having to use my horn. But talking to the repair shop, it's one of several things that could be wrong with it. Because it's not just the horn not working, it's also the controls on the steering wheel
Mm-hmm.
to be able to like flip through the menus on the dashboard to see like your tire pressure, oil life, miles per hour, all that shit. And also to be able to accept phone calls hands free.
I
And
am. No, keep going. Keep going.
so they listed off like 7 or 8 different things it could be. And they're like, we just want to make sure it's going to be all right for us to have it for a few days. I'm like, well, for one, I work on a construction site, so I kind of need it just in case someone's backing up towards me and, they don't see me, especially the dump trucks or the concrete trucks. I said, and as long as my company and enterprise keep approving the repairs, go for it, because it ain't out of my pocket.
I am deathly afraid that 5 or 6 years from now, I'll finally figure out all the controls in my pickup truck and discover it actually does have cruise control. After all, I just haven't gone far enough through the menus to get there, which would be really weird because it's it's easy to lock it into I'm hauling a trailer mode, or I'm hauling a little bitty trailer mode.
What year, make, and model is your truck?
Um, 2020 Ford F-150.
2020?
Yep. Doesn't have power windows. Um, doesn't have a key fob that you can lock and unlock the doors. I think whoever bought it the first time wanted just a basic package. But what worries me is it might be one of these things where I have to push a button on the gear shift and get to a menu that I haven't been able to find yet, scroll down and go, oh, yeah, you just come here and then you hit the on off button on the gear shift like you do the am I hauling a trailer switch.
See, page 91. Okay. Oh, so according to this, it's just right there on your steering wheel. Let me pull this up real quick. So this is it here. You have your on and off to turn it on and off, resume, cancel, and then two different set buttons, which once it's set, you can use the plus or minus to either up it 1 mile per hour at a time or lower it 1 mile per hour at a time.
That control panel does not seem to exist in my truck.
Oh.
Yeah. See, they wrote the owner's manual for several different years and several different models.
Yeah.
So, oh, wait a minute. How that?
There we go.
Yep. It says it's got a lot of things that I've never been able to find.
Yeah. It's entirely possible he went with the most basic of basic packages.
Well,
but then I'd have to wonder if he's a former state employee.
Not having power windows as well as a key fob to unlock stuff does seem to be like I bought this used from a cheapskate Um, but CarMax does a pretty good job as long as they're not the ones that put the Loctite on my oil drain plug. Yeah, went to get the oil changed for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They rounded off the oil plug
Jesus.
because it had been Loctited in place.
Well,
They
I
gave
mean, that's one way to make sure you're never going to have a leak from there, I guess. But
Yeah, but it's also a good way to make sure you never get your oil changed. And they said, I'm sorry, we we rounded this off with the air wrench trying to get it undone. We're going to give you a free drain plug for your oil pan. And I said, please make sure that the threads are all right, because I don't want to be driving down the road and have it be dribbling oil and me not be able to know it. And they looked at
mm-hmm.
it. They run their fingers up inside the threads. They said, no, no, threads aren't a problem at all. We just had to use a monkey wrench to break the Loctite to get it loose. The impact drill was not enough. Oh. Hello, Foxy.
Hey, Foxy.
Yes. I have no idea what time it is out in Utah right now. I I used to have
They are 2 hours
a
behind you.
2. Thought it was about 3.
They're fairly certain they're mountain time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, let's see. I'm Eastern, and there's Central, then there's Mountain. Yeah, that's 3. Um, I I do believe on my iPad I've got an app set up so that we can figure out when our friends on Greenwich time. I didn't say that correctly because I don't have the accent. And then our friends in California, our friends in New Mexico, which is probably mountain time. And then I do believe I set the 4th one for Huntsville. Uh, I do not remember. It's on the iPad, not the desktop. So anyway, I could do the time conversions. hmm But Foxy and Thesis, you are welcome anytime that you have the time to spare and the energy to spare to show up in the chat or show up on screen. Everything is copacetic. God, you wouldn't believe I've had about 6 ounces of rum yet, would you? Except for that slur in that particular sentence.
I don't think I'm going to make it the full 2 hours because I'm starting to.
We don't have to make it the full 2 hours. We don't have a set time. I'm not going to sit here and try and monologue. My neck hurts, my back hurts, and I've been mortally frustrated all day. So whenever we decide to call it a night, we can call it a night. Carl will be lucky for not having to catch up with like 17 hours of you and me sitting here going, well, what you think about that Babylonian Tupperware or whatever? It's hard to burp, but it keeps things preserved forever.
Yeah, I think with that, I'm gonna hop off here and attempt to get some sleep.
Good luck. I need to do exactly the same because evidently I've got an early morning in the morning. Uh, oh, good news.
Mhm.
Lindsay's collarbone is healed enough for her to be able to drive.
Good.
Well, the thing is, it's healed enough to be for her to be able to drive without pain, but she has trouble doing up her seatbelt and opening the driver's door on the car from the
Mm.
inside. So we're we're hoping that will be all right. Uh, if she needs me to drive her to church in the morning, uh, I can do that. I can seriously do that as long as I'm not still sitting here in the chair watching videos when she needs to go to work. Because longer I sit here, more beer I'm going to drink, uh, which is not conducive to driving,
Mhm.
especially in Georgia, especially in this county. Um, well, thank you for joining me tonight, Joe. Really
No problem.
appreciate it. Um,
So I finally got smart since you guys are doing the reusable studios. I just saved the links to my favorites bar on top of the.
yep.
That way,
Well, that's
that way I don't have
that's
to go hunting for it sometimes through the link chat.
that's well. The only reason I really put uh, the links and everything in the link chat is because sometimes um there is no stupid o'clock. So I go a little bit early just to try and make it easier on people in further time zones to the west of me and hoping that this is something that is more convenient for them. And then Dog shows back up and screws up all of that, but puts me on at 11:30 on a Saturday. But no, um, it doesn't really matter. It's all the same. Gabba gabba hey. Um, oh Lord, now I've got to listen to not Fabulous Thunderbirds. It's the Ramones again. Uh, all these bands I discovered in the 70s are still popular now. Of course, the Ramones, most of them are gone. Um, I outlived the Ramones. That's frightening. How boring is my life? Uh,
Well, I will I probably won't be doing a Behind the Code Monday night.
Mhm.
We'll definitely have Creatives at Play next Wednesday.
If I put the shiny on that piece that I showed you earlier and refrain from putting in the rivets and the snaps, I would be able to rejoin you with something worth watching, as long as you think holding a punch in one hand and hitting it with a hammer from the other hand is entertaining.
It gives people a chance to see what it actually, takes. So,
Well, yeah, doing all kinds of leather work, which does not mean I go to biker bars, uh, even though they got some pretty good music. But yeah, it gives people a chance to see my take on the lazy guy's way to make leather belts and straps and sword baldricks and whatnot. There are things that I really need to work on, but there are other things I haven't even got the parts for yet, and I do not have the faintest idea where my all is. It's not in the leatherworking toolkit. Maybe it's in the next room, um, which means I've got to either take all of that stuff to the barn and take up space that we need for furniture, or it's an archaeology dig. Because it's going to be buried under all kinds of detritus. Um, I think I pronounced that word correctly. Thank you, Terry Pratchett. Uh, well, we've gone an hour 33. If you want to take off, go right ahead, and I'll just go ahead and end the show, and everything will be all right.
well, with that, folks, have a great night. And thank you for having me on, Dan.
Oh, you're always welcome. You and everybody else on NDCD, all our friends, everyone that's ever been in the green room. I wouldn't exclude y'all if I was standing in front of a firing squad.
All right. Have a good night, folks.
Good night. And as I said, anybody on NDCD, any of my online friends, any of my online family, you're always welcome here. You're always welcome here. Let me play the advert for Disposable Man. I'm not going to play the abducted advert because that's 2 minutes. I need to redo that to like a 30-second advert, but it works out so well with the music at 2 minutes. It's kind of hard for me to decide where to clip and trim, as you may think of it. But Let's go ahead and play this. In the early days of the Korean War, an underage boy ran away from his family's farm in West Virginia to join the Army. He quickly transferred to the Air Corps and became a fighter pilot. Somehow, he became useful to several alphabet agencies, so he was recruited to help them during the Cold War. Eventually, he got tired of being a spy and tried to retire. Fate had other ideas. These are some of the early adventures of Captain Tom Darby of the U.S. Army Air Corps. From before that fateful night, he rode his motorcycle around a curve too fast on a back road in rural Georgia and accidentally began a new life entirely.
Transmission overload.
System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.